Hello guys, this is in continuation of my video. I'm always a very passionate proponent of planning in sales. Most of us in sales are very reactive. The nature of our job does that. When we get up in the morning, we go with a plan of how to go about the day. But soon we see that we are marching to the drum beats of the daily day code. You go to office, your boss calls you and he tells you that he wants this report. You keep filling the report, give it to him. Then there's a customer call about a product complaint. You attend to the call and put the fires down. Then there is something else which goes on from your sales executive, and it is a never-ending story. By the time you come about to do what you have to do for the day, it's almost evening time, and therefore you sit and do workout in the evening, and the days goes on. You never for a moment get a time to think about what you are going to do for the next 1 week, 1 month. Most people do not do that. Less than 10 to 15% of the people actually plan ahead. And that is what makes a difference between a person who does well consistently and who works sporadically. This is what I call the power hour for. The power hour is a time when you actually spend about 2 to 3 hours a day thinking about how you would like your business to be in the next maybe 3 months and 6 months, not for a year. At least think for 3 months of what you have to achieve. And then draw out plans. This becomes very, very important because if you do not plan at least 3 months ahead, you cannot make sustainable changes in the market. The month ends and the next month begins, and all development and promotional activities are depend upon what you have to achieve next month, what collection you have to get in for the next month, and that is the time to plan how you are going to build for the future. See, if you do not have a conversation with people of how they are going to improve business in the next 3 months or in the next 6 months, they will always come with some short-term measures which is only for that month. It is not sustainable. So therefore you should encourage people to think for 3 months ahead, and you as a national head of sales or a regional head should think at least 6 months ahead and then come out with plans which will help us. Let me give you an example of how this was implemented in a place. During the early part of my career, when I started off in a company where I ultimately joined as a deputy general manager and went on to retire as a senior vice president sales and marketing, I noticed that for the first 6 months I hardly had time even to sit and think. It was only firefighting all the day, and I soon realized that I'm not going to make any difference if I had to continue like this. Therefore I made some simple changes, put down things which I was doing every day, recorded it for 10 days, then said that what could be delegated, what I had to do myself, and what I shouldn't be even attempting to do because it is of no value. And then I had some time with me to think about what to do. But still there were a lot of distraction in the house, and each person has a cycle. When his mind is at optimum, his body is at optimum, and he thinks well. To me, early morning was the best time, or walking in the evening was the best time, or today I'm sitting in the car in a nice cozy place, and I'm very happy, and not in the confines of the house or the offices which do not give rise to any creative thinking. I used this time to effectively plan for the future, and in one such planning came about a great scheme which we implemented in UP. It was during the time that when SBI came out with this scheme for small farmers, and there was a lot of excitement in it, and we were the first to tie up with State Bank of India, and then we came out with a low margin scheme of 9,999 rupees per tractor and take a tractor. This was an enormous success, but this had a lot of resistance from my team and my dealers, and it took a lot of effort from us to convince the dealers. Finally, how we brought them on board was that we took a survey of customers and showed it to them of how they will increase sale. Lo and behold, the scheme was launched. It was a grand success. It was a grand success because it was out of the box thinking, away from what we would normally do in a hurry-burry manner of the day-to-day lives. And it was a success because my team did extremely well, and they were convinced that it would work, and they went beyond the call of duty to implement it. This is just one such example which comes out of planning for the next 3 months. Having said that, there's another important factor you'll have to look into as we move forward. In no longer this performance appraisal or performance for the next year is anyway relevant to our businesses. Time cycles are becoming shorter by day, and it is essential that we have goals which are achievable for the next 3 months or next 6 months. So we used to have something called a goal sheets, where we used to have what a team member and a team will achieve in the next 6 months in terms of deliveries, collection, and also in terms of long-term objectives. It helps us put our objectives into actionable points which can be monitored over the next 6 months. It led us to help to facilitate people to achieve their goals, and also made us realize that much of the effort was going only on day-to-day activities and nothing to long-term activities. Therefore, we started bringing more weightage at a senior level, say at the area manager level and general manager level, into achieving long-term objectives. We also separated out what should be done by the person at the ground level, what should be done by the person at the next level, and what should be done by the general manager. Very often people simply do all their tasks and do not focus on the task. The way to set the goals is the various goals of the people should ultimately focus on what has to be achieved. And all these thoughts and various things came because of Power Hour. As the Power Hour evolved, I actually talked to many of my direct reportees, and many of them were keen to do this, to encourage them. I encouraged people to join me during the Power Hour, and also planned with them of how to achieve it. This became a grand success. I remember an incident where we were traveling in Gujarat, and we usually used to travel in Innova over a long period of time. And that time my zonal head was there, and the concerned area manager was there, and the regional manager was there, and the TETM was there. And we started to discuss of how we can gain substantial market share in Gujarat. The discussion went on long, and there came the concept of MOP. We came with the concept that since everybody in Gujarat was selling with a high margin, if we are able to reduce margin, we would be able to substantially gain share. And since and the other people would not be able to make the changes faster, as they are already running this strategy. So we went about it, and we convinced the dealers, and told them that they have to go for volumes and not for margins. And then we sort of put many wall paintings and hoardings and advertisement, and believe me, in the next 1 year or 1.5 years, we gained about 5% share, and the competition was left high and dry. All this came because of a thought during the Power Hour, when we were relaxed, out of office, talking as friends or colleagues, and not a boss-subordinate relationship, always in a way how we can add value to each other and how we can improve business. And this has been an approach which has also led us to many areas in which we did substantially well. So I encourage you, ladies and guys who are watching this video, to seriously consider about Power Hour. And if you want more information as we go forward, we will have a website where we put articles on these and how to go about doing it. I can assure you that it will go a long way in helping your career. Thank you so much. It's been pleasant talking to you. Bye. Thank you.